good day, mate. I'm fucking telling you. Oh, man. What a fucking day, mate. Gone out to the city to make a bit of content, maybe, bro. You know, just to fucking. Yeah, I'm going over the Etihad, bro, to make a bit of content. We fucking heads mashed. Go. Mark, have you got a light? It's fucking freezing out. Alright, B. I'll tell you what's happening. Fucking mind your business. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, that's because it's fucking windy. You know, fucking hell. 1 second. I'm back down in my fucking garden. You know, look, my old bed is over there. It looks like I'm gonna get a fucking new. Can't fucking use that. Oh, it's a grand old, you know, word and all that. And then, many years ago, these are left in the oven. And they're still sitting up there 10 years later. But I have some extra time on my hands at the minute, so I'm gonna go and blow my own channel back up again because I can and I have to. Otherwise I'll end up back in hospital if I don't do something. You know, and we don't want to go there. You know. It's windy outside. You know, it's sad that I just sat there. You know, all these fucking years. And all you need is 2 decks, which there's a deck in one of them. Never mind the suitcases. Yeah, what you can say, gardener. Hey, bouncy castle in there. Pump right there, handy for the fucking kids, isn't it? You know, and it's a big old garden as well, isn't it? It's a big old garden, isn't it? Now, remember when I told you the last time I tried to take me life here? Are you looking over that fence? That's where the railway line is, right there. 8:45 every night a train passes here. Monkey Bridge down there. You know, I've not listened to the birds in ages. I can hear them. I can hear blackbirds singing. I know, mate, it's because of the weather. You know. Where have I left me tea? You know, I brought a cup of tea out with me and I don't know what I've done with it. Well, that's what happens normally. You know, rather than hire one. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the city ground in a bit and make some content. Yeah. And I hope someone says something to me. Very windy. Oh, yeah. Look there. Mark, you know what? I made a cup of tea, Brown. I don't know where I've left it. Yeah, big bowsy. There's a fag there if you want one, bro. I had it. Well, you're doing good. Not having not having fucking six for like a six for 3 days. That's good. I need to try and give it up. They come out like that. And then there's the other one. So I'm gonna go over to the city ground and make some content. Hey, Finn. Hey, I'm trying to, Finn, I need to cut down. You know, I really do, but my nerves, you see, do be at me, you know. And I think I'm that close to going back to hospital. I'll still be able to talk to you and stuff, you know, but I need to make a bit of content for my channel, and that's what I intend to do. You know, we'll see by Christmas now. I've one mission now, and I tell you, I'm doing it for my dad. You know, he would have wanted that. So it's nice and cozy, you know. Finn, it's freezing cold outside. Look how handsome this Bowsy is. Well, bro, fucking fags down there. Just grab them when you want one. Oh, Finn, what am I gonna do, bro? I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Well, that's someone knocking. Well, I'll speak to you later. I'll have a little bit extra time on my hands at the minute, so I'm gonna use it. And if the truth be told, I've neglected a few things, including myself and other people. Like I said, mental health, it's like you don't realise like your mental health can affect other people, you know. And since I've come off that medication, believe me, I've been trying, you know, but it's very hard, you know, unless you've been on certain meds you'd understand, but unless, if you haven't been on them, well then you don't understand. But it's a windy day out, you know, bank holiday weekend. Well, that's what kids do, don't they? You know, drive you around the bend, you know, but your kids, like I said, they're going to be a legacy. You know, Finn, you know Thomas, right? Thomas is wearing, he's 1 year old, he's wearing 3 to 4 year old clothes. Well, I'm working on it, Jordan, but it's fucking, the wheels have come off. You know, and because of my mental health, it's affecting other people around me. Yeah, so that's on me. Had a bit of an incident earlier on. Like, I won't go into it, right, but yeah, had an accident. I had a bit of a little tiny crash. It's just a scrape, but you know, Finn, I've got complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I've got psychosis and survivor's guilt. You see that handsome fella behind me there? He's got bipolar. You know, my little brother's probably a schizophrenic. My mother was a coping schizophrenic, and a few months ago she come to me, and since she come to me, Finn, I can't get it out of my head. You know, cause I know what I see, and it's like, you're not supposed to see things. Only crazy people see things like that, okay? And bro, I'm not fucking crazy, you know? And it derailed me. And yesterday, I was watching an episode on Black Mirror called Demon 79, and you know that song, Bright Eyes, Watership Down? You know, the morning my brother and sister died in that fire, you know, my ma told me that was on the telly before she went down to get nappies. Watership Down, you know, and it just upset me. You know that song, Bright Eyes, burning like fire, and it affects you. And sometimes people are afraid to speak about their mental health, and I couldn't give a bollocks anymore, in all fairness, because my mental health is there. We're that close to going and ringing the fucking hospital and just saying, look, I don't feel well. But I'm going to try my best to not do that. You know, but my heart is sad. You know, and yet he had his only over there. So, what was your favourite film as a kid? Jesus Christ, Jordan, that's hard. Bro, favourite movie as a kid?
As a kid?
And wait, don't answer. I know what you're going to say. Airplane Flyer or something like that. Something to do with
my favourite kids film or my favourite film as a kid?
Your favourite movie as a kid, Jordan said.
Probably Radio Flyer.
I fucking knew it before
That's a kids film, but my first memory of a film that I enjoyed, and it was a moment that I shared with my sister. She fell asleep on my lap. She was on your baby. I was about fucking 8. Jenny was like 4, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was actually Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh, what a movie. But bro, see, mine is In the Name of the Father.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It has to be. You know. Bro, don't feel bad for me. Listen, I've got my eyesight. I've got my legs and my fucking arms. You know. There's some people that have no legs. Can't walk. And like I said, sometimes your mental health can affect the people around you that you love, and sometimes you have to make a decision rather than continuously hurting people that you love around you. Your daughter, bro, don't take the piss, man. Mel, get him out of here, man. Don't even fucking annoy me, bro. Fuck off. Don't be saying shit like that. You know, your fucking daughter has no legs. If you're right, I apologise, but listen, I'm not in the mood for fucking, honestly. Like I said, you know, I have arms, legs, eyes, you know. Hey, Scott. And what you don't realise is sometimes your pain can affect people, you know. And in life, I'm 50. I've gone through a lot of shit in my life, from 4 losing my brother and sister, growing up where I grew up with, one of my best friends being stabbed to death and dying basically in my arms, Key Collins. You know, and then add another 20 mates to that who've been executed in Dublin gangland. And I had to carry that with me. You know, all my pals that died, I felt bad, you know, because a lot of us aren't here anymore. You know, and it's like when it comes to, if you want to go back in time to the asylum, every crazy person from Finglas, Crumlin, Talla, Coolock, Blanchardstown, Ballymun, Ballyfermot, Ballybock, everywhere. And we used to have, that was probably the best 18 months of my life when I was a kid, you know. Getting offered a job in the fucking asylum, mate. You know, how could I turn that down? You know, and I was doing an apprentice butcher at the time. You know, I wanted to do something with my life. I didn't want to be sitting on a corner like all my mates forever. You know, fuck that. You know, but that's what we ended up doing, and I fucked up, as you know, at 18. And I got dealt with. I got tortured in Cherry Orchard, and you know, all the boys, they still have the love for me and respect for me. You know, I broke the rules and I took me punishment like a man. You know, but because of that punishment, I had to exile myself from all my mates for nearly 30 years. You know why? Because my kids were more important than my mates. You know, my mates fuck me. You know, allegedly, somebody got a parcel and divided it, allegedly, to a couple of people. Well, about 4 of them, and they all fucked up. And then the geezer who took the blame for it, you're looking at him. You know, like, you don't, at the time, listen to me, all the older lads where I used to live, they used to make sure that you are always checked if you fucking fall out of line. You know, and I grew up with a lot of tough guys, you know, who aren't here anymore. really fucking tough guys, like with reputations, proper reputations, you know. And it's like when I look back and I think about it now, there's some nasty cunts in the world. Hey, Solway. And like I said, unfortunately, because of the asylum, I ended up meeting a lot of people from Dublin. Do you hear what I'm saying? Every G from every corner, block, manor, the ends, it doesn't matter, the council estate. On every council estate, you have a bad boy. In every manor, you have a bad man. You know, and that's just how it fucking works, you know. But it's like, it's not my life, but I did live that life for a long time. You know, fucking balls deep I was in it, and I didn't realise how much trouble I was in. You know, but when I look back now, I was lucky to survive. You know, I got a few stitches in the back of my head. So what? You know, it's like, but when I look back now, and I just feel lost in my own head, you know. It's not even a joke, I'm like, you know. But like, this illness, like, it's taken everything from me. And what I had left has been taken from me as well. Because of, not just, because of my mental health, you know. And I need to work on it. Jordan, I know that. It's just, not really, Scott. In all fairness, a lot of that happens down the north, or up the north of Ireland. When we were stealing cars, the police wouldn't come up there. The IRA wouldn't come up there, because there was too many of us. And if you hit one of us, you hit a lot of us. Do you understand, Pedro? I'll put it to you another way. This is what we say. You bugle, see the fuck she is. Down your veil, Cunis, Guramila Margut. Jude MacDonald is on him dumb. Couldn't talk to. You know. And this Sunday, 109 years ago, the amount of people that died in 1913 to 1916, when the Irish Republican Brotherhood, you see, and then it was changed to the Irish Republican Army 3 years later, when we fought against the British, inside, outside the GPO, on top of it, every fucking where. Hey, Richard. And shout out to Richard Dowling. He's always positive, him. You know. And I appreciate your support, brother. You know, it's getting windy out, and I don't know which scooter to go on. Do you know something? Do you like trees, do you? They're majestic trees. Do you know the amount of birds that live in them trees? Right there, Shirley. And up there, look. The birds and the bats, you know. Well, the problem I have, Jordan, is I have a choice. I can use that one there. See the way the wings come out, look, and clip in, you know. And then the handlebars, 1 second, and I'll show you. Come on. Mark, do you know how to pull this one up? Do you know how to get the bars out, bro?
I've no idea, bro. I don't want screws.
It's not happening. No, I better turn it off because I'm not too sure. Hang on, mate. 1 second. Because that'd fucking drive me nuts. Like, oh, that's it. I got you. Right, so. That one. Or that one. Noisy bastards. Yeah, so we have a choice to go on that one or that one. You know, like I said, I want to make it. I'm not too sure how quick it goes, but I know it's fucking fast. It's like, but you know, it's a deadly scooter. You know, like them pure scooters are very good. You know, like it's like your wings come out here for your feet, yeah. And like I said, look, it's you know, it's a deadly yoke. It is. You know, it's like, and like I said, you just do that. Watch and I'll show you. So the flaps go up like that, and then pull them down like that, yeah. And then with this, to fold the handlebars down. Like that, look, watch. So, either that one, or the one outside, in all fairness. Well, that's what they are, bro, the flaps. It's just your dirty mind. Like I said, but they're very good, them pure scooters. And bro, do you want to smoke?
No, it sounds wrong. All right. Like I said, bro, I'm cutting down.
Good man. Oh. But so I might go over and make a bit of content at the Etihad, just to fucking stop my mind thinking at the minute, because like I said, I fucking, you know, my brother there next to me has bipolar, and you know, I can speak to him about mental health, you know, rather than fucking ringing somebody and saying, listen, I don't feel mentally well at the minute, but I have my family around me, you know. So I think I'm gonna go and make some content for my channel. I'll, like I said, in the next few weeks I'll hit my target. You know, I started this journey 2 years ago, and I'll see it through. And if I have to make 20 or 30 shots every day from today, I'll do it. Yeah, I've no data on me bleeding phone, so I'm gonna have to make a few videos, but I'm gonna post every one of them, and I'm gonna tag Finn, Lena, Max, Raymond, Tim Leeds, Solway, Richard Dowling, Ayrshire Chicklina, you know, my queen as well. We have a good team, and it's like I have a little bit of time to make a bit of content. So what I'm gonna do is, hey Fred, I'm gonna go over to the city ground on my own. I'm gonna say, hello mate, are you a football fan? Is there any chance? Have you got a YouTube channel? Yes. Fantastic. Okay, what do you think of City's fucking performances this season? You know, shout out to Aston Villa last night. How are you, Harvey? Nah, listen, it's just like, I didn't want to admit it to myself, but when I'm like this, it affects everybody. And I don't want that. But now, Jordan, I've not been over there for a long time for reasons, cause whatever. But I go over, and if I see people who I know are football fans, I'll approach them and I'll say, "Excuse me, are you a tourist? Are you visiting the ground and what have you?" And make conversation and say to them, "Here, I have a YouTube channel and I do football content. Would you like to say hello to everyone on YouTube?" And you know, you don't just go over and put a camera in someone's face. You know, it's like, it's not very professional, is it? Now, I've neglected a few things, including myself. And I started this channel over 2 years ago. I've been on social media over 20 years. I've been on YouTube, this is my 7th year. And in order for me to cross this line, I need to go make some proper content. On my own. Yeah, I'm ready. We're ready. You see, there's a lot of fucking football. Yes. Well, how about this, Solway? Do you know Mousy Roy? Okay, I have a couple of mates that go. I have a couple of family that go. Okay, this Sunday is important, but unless you're Irish, you wouldn't get it. 109 years ago, a lot of Irish men and women were fucking killed in Dublin streets and then executed in Kilmainham jail by a fucking British establishment. You know, they wrote a book, a torture book on how to break Irish men. Oh shit, guys, listen, I'm gonna have to, Mark, have you got a charger? Oh. Yes. Sorry about that, my phone was about to die. Hey, son. I'm down at your nan's. Yeah. I'll talk to you in a little bit. So, what I was saying, 109 years ago, a lot of Irish men and women sacrificed their life, and our constitution, it's like was written in blood. Our liberty and our freedom was compromised. All because they stole 6 counties. But the whole thing is, this weekend, a lot of Irish men and a lot of Irish women died on Easter Sunday because they were patriots. You see, British soldiers, they sent over a bunch of cunts, yeah, to deal with Irish men. And the things that they did, look what they did to Jerry Conlon and Giuseppe Giuseppe's dead, man. You know, my father died in an English jail for something he didn't do. You know, the same with the fucking Birmingham Six. They were railroaded by the British government and the establishment, and here, they couldn't admit that they done it. You know, they beat the shit out of Jerry Conlon. You know what I mean? And a few other people as well, Paul Hill, or whatever his name is, they beat the shit out of him. You know, and it's like they done the same to fucking Dolores and her sister. You know, like I said, see me, before I come to this country, I'm a proud Irishman, and you know what? I look in the fucking mirror now, and I don't even know what's looking in front of me. You know, listen, mate, I've no hatred here for English people. I have children who are British. Me 1-year-old son is British. Me 10-year-old daughter is British. But me 2 eldest kids are Irish. You know, they were born in different countries. Well, me daughter was born here. Me other one, 2 of them were born in this country. You know, so like I said, for me, it's all about remembrance. You see, Dublin that I left in 1993 isn't the same one. The amount of patriots and Republicans that gave their life for our cause, for our freedom, our liberty, you know, it goes against their constitution. In fact, it's violating Irish citizens in their own country because they've been treated like second-class fucking citizens. You know, they're giving Arabs £500 a week because they're from a war-torn fucking country. 500 a week. That's €2,000 a month. And there's people that are from Ireland that don't get nowhere near that. You understand? We're supposed, charity begins at home, is what I believe, and there's too many greedy bastards out there. Money, 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 money. And it's like, you know, my mother always used to say, I fucking hate greedy bastards. But I'm going over to make some content. That's it, Pat. Come here, Solway, that's what I wanted to say to you. If you know Mousy, yeah, or if you don't, why don't you and Ronan meet up with Mousy? And I'm going to ask Yowza to meet up with you. And he does have a few lads with him. Yous are going to the same protest, and I can link yous all together. And that's what I'm going to fucking do. Right, now, I know Mousy. Well, I don't mean I know Mousy. I know Mousy knows a few of the lads up in Ballyer and what have you. And it's like a couple of my pals. You know, Solway, they force-fed them. They held them down there with restraints and put a tube down her fucking neck because she went on hunger strike. And I'll tell you one thing, you see them 2 women are fucking patriots, they're heroes. Just like Bobby Sands and the rest of the hunger strikers that died. You know, do you understand what he fucking did? You know, he gave his life for a cause that he believed in, being British occupation. No fucking way, Jose. Now, like I said, my views have changed because I moved to the UK. I've been around English people more than I've been around Irish. 3 of my children were born in this country. You know, but I don't blame the normal English people. It's the fucking government. But Richard, you see Mousy's channel. Honestly, I love the content the fella makes, you know, and I always put him in my description for people like to go and so if I put the same with yourself, bro. I've added a few new people, like just to listen. How hard is it to share a few people's channels every video you do? You see, all them are motherfuckers and they are not like you. You know, see YouTube. I could have making loads of money. Not loads, a few bob, right? But I said, fuck you, principle. And I'll hit me 5,000 before my birthday. No pressure. 4 months I have to get 1,400 subs, and I believe I can do it. You see, because I'm going to go over and I'm going to try irritate a couple of City fans. Yeah, and it'll make some interesting content. But see Mousy's channel, I like the way he does it. You know, he goes around all the places and he's like, yeah, what's that hotel like in there? You know, it's called baiting people. It's ways of getting information. Do you understand? And Mousy's well on it. And Finn introduced me, like, and I didn't even know Mousy's channel existed. And because of Mousy's, me going into Mousy's channel, I've ended up subbing to about 20 people that goes into his channel who have much bigger channels than I have. But the one thing that we all have in common is we're fucking Irish. You know, and we're patriots, and there is nothing wrong with that. You know, like I said, 109 years ago, a lot of people died, English and Irish, and how can you expect everyone in the Shankill to fuck off and live somewhere else? You know, it is what it is, and we either get along or we don't, and here, I've no problem with any English man or woman. I don't blame them for their troubles. It's the government that makes these decisions, that changes laws, that bring new laws in. That gee-bag, Maggie Thatcher, I'll hit her with a lump of coal. That's what I'd be doing, you know, when she turned up at Arthur Scargill in Yorkshire at the fucking mines, I'd be picking up a big lump of coal and saying, here, have some of that. My brother drove the pig vans in Belfast 79, never ever has said a bad word about the Irish. Well, this is what I'm saying, Glenn. Everything in life is about respect. Like, listen to me. They were prisoners of war, okay? POWs. There's no fucking difference. But because of English occupation and a lot of fucking lies, a lot of Irishmen got a lot of fucking jail. Now, some deserved it. It's like, but at the end of the day, England is stuck as notes. Now, I've no issue with English people, but here's the thing. It's the government that made all the decisions. The English people didn't want the UK and America to go to war in Iraq and Afghanistan, but they still did it. You know, and it's like, I can see similarities in Ireland now. And it's like, I couldn't believe it. I seen a fucking video, I think it was either Mousy's video or Irish, what's her name? Irish D. It was on one of the channels, and you know, they get paid £500 a week because he come from Syria, a war-torn country. You know, €500 a week. You know, here, what the flying fuck, you know? Hey, I'm ringing my fucking family here. Come to Ireland, you get free money. Guess what? Tell Granny we're gonna have a great Christmas. I'm gonna send over £100 and you're gonna have a banquet in your little village rather than killing a goat. You know. But yeah, so I'm gonna go over and make some content. I need a studio in order to do the in all fairness, I don't need one. I have a target to hit, and then when I hit it, I'll think about what's next. You know, at the minute, I'm just focusing on my own mental health because, yeah, a few red flags. It's like with me, and you know, like I said, it's like when you're around. Well, Solway, like I said, you know, yourself and Ronan, you know, I've a lot of time and love and respect for Ronan because he brought me on 3 podcasts. Hey, I could have gone on James English or Sean Atwood to tell my story. Hey, to tell my fucking story. And you know what? I picked Ronan. How about that? Ronan. I could have gone Ashley Marvin Hitchman. He was going to link me to Sean Atwood. I was going to go on his, and I'd have probably been going on James English. Because if I told you the stories about growing up, not just where I grew up, but in other areas where I knew other people, you know, and it's like it just so happened that I've been around a lot of tough guys in my life, and like I said, my brother's in there. He can speak for me. You know, but I walked away from that, like, because I'm a fat man, right? Bang in your face. Always keep your guard like that. So I'll be like that. Yeah, shout out to the worst. Hey Sean, shout out to the worst golfer on YouTube. Danny G, you are fucking bad at golf, bro. Even Shadow Bacon can beat you at golf. I tell you what, Pinocchio would probably beat you at golf. In fact, that should be your name, Pinocchio, because you're always lying. What I say can be backed up by people come in me fucking life. Here, I used to be a fucking tough guy, allegedly, and I'm turned into a sausage. I was a bowsy, and now I'm a housey. So I'm going over to do some content. I appreciate that, Alex. And guys, listen to me. Can you go and give Alex Aguilar a sub? I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Like, and bro, listen to me. I have a few people when I end this live, Alex. In my description, I'll have a few channels, yeah? And if you come in and tell me that you sub to 3 or 4 of my team, I'll get them to sub to your channel. Do you understand? And that's how it works. It's called networking. It's called bringing fucking people together. You know, without distractions. And without me fucking phone keep falling. But, like I said, nobody is solid, and when you think you've got control of your mental health, that's when the wheels come off. Now, like I said, I'm around a few people and I've upset them because of my mental health, you know, and it's not right, and it's killing me inside, you know, because of my mental health. It's affecting a lot of people. You know, and it's like, you know, once you have something in your fucking head, you know. Well, Alex, thank you. Like I said, there's a few people in here who I'll tag in my description. Sean, I'll start adding your name to it as well, because you're from Ballier. 2 years, I had mine. Do you know what, Sean, right? This is no lie, right?